How do you like the power play so far? Through 2 games.
Yeah, Coach Shaw's done a good job there. I think we've had some good movement in the power play. You know, Coach Shaw does a really good job on keeping our guys. They know exactly what they're doing. Obviously, we've got a lot of good ability. Biggest thing that we're looking for is shot attempts per power play. And if we're having a shot first mentality and getting pucks to the net, we think over a course of time, numbers are going to come our way. So that's the biggest thing, is if we're generating shots and getting good looks to the net, then over time we're gonna be successful. Obviously on Saturday night, a couple big ones, and you know, we've got a lot of ability there. I think it's just getting everybody on the same page and getting a mentality to getting pucks to the net and not getting too fancy.
And calling the game's really close so far. Do you guys have to change the way you coach the game? I mean, it's really tight right now.
Yeah, we actually talked about it on the a little bit after Friday's game, and then even obviously a big part of the game of the start on Saturday was you know, us getting sticks on the hands, and they're calling that closer, a little bit more close to the NHL level. When you get your stick kind of parallel to the ice, they're going to call it, which, you know, I think it's good. I think you know, that takes skill players' hands away to make plays, so we're fine with that. We just got to adapt and, you know, coach our guys. Hey, get your stick on the ice. Don't be chopping guys in the hands or hooking the hands. Get your stick on the puck and make plays that way.
Jackson, about the penalty kill, you're using a lot of guys already. Obviously, that's the plan.
Yeah, we're trying to you know, give guys different roles and just try to see who's got a good knack. You know, I think there's a lot of guys that can do it. We're really trying to be aggressive up ice. It's very taxing on the system when you're skating up ice and trying to disrupt. So we have a lot of guys that can really skate, we feel, on this team. So we're getting a lot of guys in there and just kind of seeing what they can do in these early stages. It's a big advantage if you can have you know, more than 5 or 6 guys going. We've used 8, 9 guys, and a lot of guys have done a good job. But, you know, just same thing, mentality-wise, we want to be aggressive, really try to dictate play and disrupt. You know, if they're going to make 3, 4, 5 good passes in a row and get a puck to the net on us, we can live with that. But we don't want to sit back and be passive and let them dictate to us and, you know, pound pucks and get second and third chances by the net.
Cam didn't see that many shots on Saturday. Out of the shots that he did see, though, what did you like out of him?
Yeah, our penalty kill did do a very good job. We always say let Cam see front side saves or shots, and he'll stop them. We always say he's got to be our best penalty killer. And that one, they made a heck of a play and it was backdoor. He had no chance. But other than that, yeah, he's done a really good job of puck management. I think he's gone out and played the puck very well. It helps us break out clean when he can get back there, and our D-man can flare out, and he can, you know, we can hit a D-man and we can go out the middle as opposed to trying to go up the walls all the time. But he doesn't give up a lot of second chances, which really helps clean up our D zone, and he's just been sharp. He's come in confident, and, you know, he looks like a guy who feels very comfortable and has a high skill level, we all know, but I think his biggest thing is his kind of temperament. You know, he's just even keel and sharp in there. He's focused, and he's been good.
A lot of the younger guys finally got to see 2 games on a weekend. What did you see out of their energy level on Saturday night?
Yeah, I thought it was good. You know, we used a lot of guys. The nice thing is when you're maybe up in a game a little bit like we were Friday, we used a lot of different players. So guys were fresh, and guys are raring to go. They got lots of energy this time of year. Everybody's pretty healthy, and again, some of those young guys can really skate. So even if they're not at full 100, they still look like they're moving pretty good.
What do you know about RPI?
Tape we've been watching, their D are very active. They really involve their D on the rush. They always have a 4th guy coming. Again, you know, how we track, it's really important that we have good gaps and hold lines. That makes teams try to, you know, have to chip pucks a little bit more on us. So we don't want to back off the line, let them enter and curl up and hit late D-men. That's an important part, I think, of the strategy against them. Also in the offensive zone, you know, just like we do in a lot of teams now to create offense. If you don't get your D moving, you know, everybody's kind of gonna shrink you down low in the zone. So everybody has their D-man kind of sliding to the middle, slashing towards the net, or kind of scissoring down the wall. And we've talked about that a lot, actually. Last weekend, Canisius did that too, so we've practiced a fair amount of that. We know we have to be ready for their D-men. You know, I think Prapavessis for them is a real good player. Wilson, those guys they can make some plays back there. The second thing we've really seen is they get a lot of pucks to the net. They consistently have a good net front presence, and they consistently have a guy kind of backdoor. So we have to do a great job boxing out and blocking shots and being real strong at our net front. I think that'll be one of the keys of the weekend.
Last time RPI was here, you were dressed and playing against them. Do you remember that game?
Not much, not too much. When we go back and watch the tape, it's good not to remember too much of how slow we played. But
You didn't score, I looked it up.
I do remember playing them. I think it was 10-11 when we had a real good team and we played them out in Green Bay. Yeah. And that was. I remember a couple of our guys coming out. We had a pretty big, strong team that year too, and I remember Malone saying that those guys are football players on skates. They had some big boys, and I remember them. They rocked Brock Nelson, but we stayed composed. They had a good team then, and it was a hard-fought battle despite the score in that one. So we'll be ready. You know, we know Seth from playing against him in Denver, so there's a good rivalry brewing just with him, but. I don't know, unfortunately, our kids got to be real good friends in Florida with his daughters and my daughter, so I don't know, I like them more than I probably did before. So.
Any more questions?
You have a sense of pride as a member of the coaching staff. Got 2 players and we got opening day rosters in NHL. And small as a big draw.
Yeah, that's very prideful for us all. We're so excited for those guys, just how they all did. You know, we're closely watched their preseason games, talked to the different staffs on the different, all of them. Jordan Schmaltz played very well. Obviously, Ledoux and Stetcher, maybe with different contract situations would have been there. It sounded like their play dictated they'll get back there soon enough. I think especially D-man going up there. A lot of those teams just want to, no matter how well a guy plays, they want him to go and play maybe a little bit and just ease the transition, playing the minors a bit. But yeah, so proud of those guys that they've just gone in. They're professionals. Those guys are all highly competitive. We always talk about being pros, of every day, how you get ready for practice, how you handle yourself with media, being ready for travel, all that stuff is a big deal. And I think the way our guys come through this program, how we kind of command them to handle themselves and playing in front of a lot of people here and our day-to-day practice and how we go about things, I think it does prepare guys. It's a big thing that we talk about when we recruit, and it's pretty exciting for us to see that these guys have, obviously it's on them. They did the job, that they go in there and represent themselves well, and showed those NHL coaches that they're reliable and they're sharp young men. They're not, some of those guys are older guys going in there at 23 and 24 years old. Obviously Nick is young, but the fact that those guys can go in there and handle themselves with presence and play well on the ice, that's 2 big things, and extremely proud, and we'll be watching.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks,
Be
guys.
back with the